Good morning, scholars. Welcome back to Survive the Night. Sorry about that. I don't know. Maybe over here. Anyway. Sorry, I messed up my glasses. So where were we? Oh yeah, things were just starting to get good. On chapter 13, no less. I mean, last chapter was 12, but you know what I mean. Anyway, on page 131, which I'm actually good with. The ropes binding her to the pipes creak. Her body lurches forward, dripping fresh blood onto the dirt floor. I stifle a scream, terrified the ropes will unravel and send her crashing down on top of me. That's gruesome to think about. But the ropes hold. Her body sways back into place. Aya sinks to the ground, screaming. I should help her, but I'm frozen. I stare at Julie's curled fingers. Someone peeled the fingernail off her pinky, leaving behind only raw, bloody skin. Oh man, I can feel that. What's worse in your mind? Having your fingernails yanked off one by one, or having that one torture thing where they get the little bamboo sticks and shove them under your fingernails into your finger? Let me know down in the comments. I wonder if she screamed, sorry. Holy! Something or other. Shanna grabs my arm, her fingernails digging into my skin. Woody crouches at the side of the tunnel, vomiting. I feel a brush against my arm and jerk back. Casey? Sam holds both hands in front of him. His voice steady. I get the feeling he said my name a couple of times already. What if he did it? We have to go. Go? I look back at Julie, careful to keep my eyes focused on her neck and hair so I don't see the wound. We can't leave her, I say. I picture the rats creeping from the shadows, climbing the walls. Another sob rises in my throat. Sam tries to touch my arm, but I pull away. We have to get her down. I'm dimly aware of the hysteria in my voice. Julie's only a few feet off the ground, but I can't reach the ropes tied around her wrists, or the pipes jutting across the ceiling. I stand on my tiptoes. Help me! That's sad. What would you have done in that situation? I mean her situation, not Julie's. She's dead. I hiccups and lowers her face to her hands. Oh my. She's dead. Shanna pulls her hands through her hair. Curses! She yells, her voice cracks, and she kicks the side of the tunnel. A trail of concrete crumbles from the wall. Sam grabs my shoulders and spins me around. I try to pull away, but he holds tight. He holds tight. What? I don't know where I was just then. Let me go! I pound at his chest with my fists. We have to help her! Listen to me, Sam says. Fear rings in his eyes, making them wide. Manic. It's really starting to seem like he's the one who did it. Then again, when would he have had the time? He clears his throat, struggling to keep his voice steady. Whoever killed Julie is still down here. We have to go now. His words shut everyone up. Aya chokes back a sob and stumbles to her feet. Shanna wraps her arms around her chest. There's movement in the darkness beyond Julie's body. I don't see it, but I feel the air shift around me and I hear something large and heavy drag across the ground. The reality of our situation hits me like a punch to the gut. Julie isn't just dead. She's been murdered. Someone murdered her. Where was it? My eyes travel to the wound in her stomach. Raw meat stares out from the gaping hole. The flesh looks shredded, like it's been put through a lawnmower. Blood clumps around her ruined skin, and intestines drip from her gut in a gruesome, glistening tangle. I can see the moldy walls through the wound. so glad I didn't eat right before reading this. Something tunneled straight through Julie's body. I'm so glad I didn't eat anything before this. Julie's body rocks back forward again, and a bloody eyeball hits the ground with a sickening plop. It rolls across the tunnel, stopping at the toe of my shoe. The familiar brown iris stares up. Oh, that's not right. At me. I scream, and fear makes my knees buckle. Sam grabs my arms and drags me back to my feet. He says something, his voice urgent. I wonder what he said. Then we're running. Our shoes slap against the damp, trash-strewn ground, and our breathing comes in gasps. My heart pounds in my ears like a drum. We're so loud, everyone in the tunnels must hear us. I glance behind me, but the darkness is perfect. It presses against our backs like a solid thing. We run forever. My legs ache and my lungs burn, but whenever I think of slowing, I remember the sound of Julie's eyeball hitting the ground. I push myself to move faster. A familiar sound echoes through the darkness behind us, raising the hair on the back of my neck. It's so quiet. I'm not sure it's real. Footsteps. Slow, steady ones. My heart quickens, and I push myself faster, ignoring the dull pain spreading through my bad knee. I think of how long it took us to get down here. It felt like we spent hours wandering in the dark, calling Julie's name. The phantom footsteps seem louder now, closer. The tunnel opens into a wide space, the subway station. It looks bigger now that everyone's gone. Crushed Solo cups and beer cans litter the platform, and half the candles have blown out. The few still lit and ghostly shapes of the walls and fill the space with eerie light. Sam and Woody dash past the platforms, but Aya doubles over next to the wall trying to catch a breath. Her sobs grow louder. Oh no, she moans. Oh no. Quiet! I grab her trembling arm and listen for footsteps. I don't hear anything, but I can't shake the feeling that someone's waiting in the dark, watching. Shanna skids to a stop next to us. We have to run, she hisses. I can't, Aya says, sniffling. Shanna grabs her by the shoulders. If you don't move, you're going to die, she says. She pushes past Aya and runs after the boys without looking back. Nerves crawl over my skin, but I shake them away and hurry after her. I tug on Aya's arm and she stumbles behind me, still sobbing. Hurry! Woody shouts, racing toward the tunnel at the far side of the cavernous space. We tear past the tracks and down the tunnel to the ladder that leads back up to the surface. A single lit candle remains, casting light over the bottom rungs. Aya reaches the ladder first, but her hand shakes so badly she can't hold on to the rungs. She pulls herself off the ground, then freezes. Uh-oh. I step up behind her and touch her hand. What is it? I ask. Silent tears roll down her cheeks, smearing her blue eyeliner. We're gonna die, she whispers. We're not going to die. I fight to keep my voice steady and clench my hands into fists so Aya won't see how badly they're shaking. We're getting out. You have to climb. She shakes her head, tightening her grip on the ladder. Sam sucks in a breath. Even if you get her to climb, she won't be able to lift the manhole cover. What he says. He moves to Aya's side and gently pries her fingers off the ladder. Let me go first, he asks. Let me go first? He asks. There, that sounds better. Aya nods and he eases her back to the ground. We're going to die, she whispers again, but I think I'm the only one who hears her. I slip an arm around her shoulder and peer into the shadows. I keep expecting expecting my vision to adjust, for the darkness to separate into a floor and walls and a ceiling. But if anything, it seems even darker than before. Woody pulls himself onto the ladder. The metal groans beneath his weight. A footstep thuds in the shadows. The sound is short and sudden and close. Woody freezes and the rest of us turn to stare into the darkness. It occurs to me that we're all standing in a pool of candlelight that feels suddenly like a bullseye. I hold my breath, listening. Silence. Woody swears and starts climbing again, faster. Hurry! Shanna hisses. Her voice sounds more angry than scared, but her eyes cut into the shadows and she can't stop tapping her foot. I can't stop doing that either, but for different reasons. One by one, my friends pull themselves up the ladder. The metal screeches and moans beneath their weight. I listen, but I hear nothing. Hear nothing outside our circle of candlelight. I wish this comforted me, but instead I think of a lion crouching in the tall grass, watching his prey from a distance. Silence doesn't mean we're alone. That's a horrifying thought. Iggy, what are you doing? Remind me to feed him. Aya climbs up next, and I pull Julie's ring from my pocket as I wait my turn. The shiny black onyx catches the candlelight. I slip her ring onto my finger and twist it so the stone faces my palm. I curl my hand into a fist, letting the onyx dig into my skin. Sharp pain shoots through my hand, but I don't stop squeezing. Julie was special. Anyone who talked to her could see that. She was in honors English with me last year. She sat next to me the day our teacher, Miss Lipton, covered an entire wall with plastic wrap. That sounds interesting. Every day I'll write a new word on the wall, Miss Lipton explained. If you use it in a paper, you get 1 point of extra credit. Julie was slouched across the desk next to mine, her dark hair covering her face. A pencil dangled from her fingers. I thought she was asleep, but then she tapped the pencil against her desk. Tap, tap, pause, tap. Morse code. She taught me over the weekend so we could talk secretly in class. I grinned and scribbled the message in the corner of my notebook. Miss Lipton has lipstick on her teeth. I don't realize I'm crying until I taste salt on my lips. I wipe my cheeks with the backs of my hands. Crying won't bring Julie back. Nothing will. Something shuffles through the dark. I'm suddenly alert. A rat, I think, but it sounded bigger. Oh, they're in New York, and those rats are huge. Heart pounding, I pick the candle off the floor and step away from the ladder. Casey! Sam hisses. My candlelight illuminates only walls and floor and empty beer cans. I swing the candle away from my body, shedding the light as far as it will reach. There's nothing there. Aya scurries up the ladder, leaving enough space for me to climb up behind her. I don't want to turn my back on the tunnels, but the other option is waiting down here alone. I carefully place the candle back on the ground. Aya climbs higher, and the space widens. I tighten my fingers on the rung and pull myself off the ground. I think I see something out of the corner of my eye, but I don't slow down long enough to look. Smart. I catch up to Aya quickly. She's frozen again, staring up at the others. I hear pounding and flinch. But it comes from above us, not below. What's wrong? I shout. I can just make out the brown bottoms of Woody's Converse sneakers above Sam's head. He swears loudly, then bangs his fist against the manhole cover. The sound echoes through the tunnel. Uh-oh. It's stuck, he shouts. We're trapped. Above me, Aya releases a horrified sob. We're going to die. Let's see, how long is this chapter? 11 pages. How long is this one? 9 pages. So it would be about 30-something minutes. Okay. Now, I'm going to go ahead and end it there because that's a pretty good spot. Sorry that this one was short and the other one was a bit longer. But not too much, I suppose. Man, they just can't catch a break. Do any of you know Morse code? I would love to learn it. Anyway, before I get distracted by something else, let me know what you guys think so far. What would you have done differently if you were in this situation? I know I asked that question a lot in the other book, but reading this has actually got me interested in writing a horror story. If you aren't familiar with me and this channel, R.L. Stine was one of my favorite authors growing up as a kid. Not just the Goosebumps books, but I loved the Fear Street novels. I guess they count as novels. Anyway, they were some of my favorite books, even though they were horrifying. My favorite ones were the ones that weren't supernatural, though. I think my all-time favorite, I think it was in the Fear Street series, but it might have been one of the alternate ones, is the one where the girl had this crush on the guy, and he had a girlfriend but was pretending to like the protagonist so that they could blame her for the death of their teacher. I just spoiled that book, by the way, but I can't remember which one it was. I don't know why that one was my favorite. Anyway, let me know what you guys think, what you guys would do, what you wouldn't do. What would you write about if you were writing your own horror story? I'd love to hear your ideas in the comments. Until next time, though. I never said though before. Goodbye, everybody. I make no sense sometimes.